What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video, and we got another Tekken video for you today. This is probably like the third one of today, but yeah, we're gonna check out an interview with Harada and I forget the other guy's name. I'm not gonna lie. So we just gonna get right into the video. This intro is terrible. Like, comment, subscribe. See Harada, Michael Murray, my fault, bro. Forgot your name.
What's up, everyone? Mitchell Saltzman here, and I am joined by the one and only Katsuhiro Harada and the likewise one and only Michael Murray.
Indeed.
And we're of course here to talk about Tekken 8. So one of the things that you guys are adding to Tekken 8 that's completely brand new is this heat system. Can you tell me a little bit about what the design goal of the heat system was and how it manifests in the game?
そうですね。
It kind of, this is his hands first, that it ties into the overall design philosophy first, which I think we touched on is aggressive, right? Because fighting games are unique in that other genres don't have this, but you can guard and have like 0 damage if you're that good at guarding, right? So in order to kind of get around that, it's more about we wanted to kind of entice people to explore the new game system and to be more aggressive and attacking. And the heat system was kind of designed to be one of the strong points of that, and to be so interesting that people want to explore different options and creative ways to use the characters to kind of employ those tactics.
So I got to see a keynote of what your goals were with Tekken 8, and you said one of them was to enhance like the character specialties in the game. Can you talk a little bit about what that means and how the heat system kind of plays into that?
まあ、ヒートシステムっていうキーワードで、新システムですっていうパッケージとして。
Yeah, it's quite a focal point for us for making each character more unique as a result of the heat system. So the heat system it's a nice package and a nice ring to it by itself.
Yeah, it looks
and
cool.
It affects the whole game just from as a system standpoint. But what's cool is that how each of these individual characteristics is different depending on the character when they're in the heat state. For example, even King is a character that, although he has his moveset and some new moves added, when he goes into the heat state, he has access to something like the Jaguar Sprint where he's got the super armor attributes as he's dashing towards the opponent. Though all the other characters have it, no, that's specific to him and makes him unique.
Yeah, that's from the trailer. Like, he has that. I'm about to say, I don't think everybody had that, because I saw him when he went into a couple of times in his trailer when he went into heat, like he was able to armor through like a couple attacks. I'm like, wait, I haven't seen that yet. So I was wondering if all players could do that, or was that just a King thing? So now we know it's just a King thing.
What that does is it kind of fosters that players will have their main character, but then they learn what makes them even cooler this time for Tekken 8.
Right.
At the same time, they see another character and they think, oh wow, if the heat state makes them be able to do this kind of cool thing, maybe I'll pick them up and try them out. Harada himself even said he wants to maybe switch main characters or pick up someone else. He gave the King example. Myself, I'm a Mishima player, and if you look at Kazuya, he's been shown in the trailer. One of the things to the Mishimas that's so satisfying is when you're able to hit the electric, right? The electric when God Fist, but it's so difficult input for people who aren't really good at the game yet. But in heat state, he has a much easier way to do electrics, and so you can find out why he's such a fun character. So those are just 2 examples, and imagine that across the whole cast.
So Kazuya might be OP, like veteran Kazuya users. Y'all just made them easier to play with, even with traditional controls. Oh no, that heat system is going to be controversial in the competitive scene in the FGC.
So reflecting back on Tekken 7, I wonder, was there anything that you looked at when you were thinking about Tekken 8 that you wished, oh, I wish we did this in Tekken 7? Like, were there any areas in Tekken 7 that you thought you could do better at that you're now trying to do in Tekken 8?
面白い質問。今までないね。
なかなか面白い質問ですね。
There's lots of ideas. That's a very interesting question, first off, that we haven't really been asked. But there's many ideas of the opposite, where during Tekken, for example, 5, he gave the example that maybe the super slow was something that we did in 7, but he originally wanted to do it in 5. But it's very hard to take an idea that you couldn't do at the time because of not enough time or money or tech or whatever, and do it later, because often when you go to the next installment, you have a different fan base, or the times have changed that they want something else, and you have to you're not able to use those ideas that are stocked. So it's very difficult in that sense. And this time for Tekken 8, it's more like it has to be better in every aspect than 7, that we have to put every idea that we can that's brand new, rather than something that was in 7 per se.
Yeah, you have to, because this is next gen. This is PS5, This is Xbox Series X. You got to pull out all the stops. And we haven't had a Tekken game since, when did Tekken 7 come out? Like 2015 or some shit like that? Or probably before then. Hold on. Let's quickly check. When did Tekken 7 come out? Because I forgot. Tekken 7. Yeah, it came out, like I said, 2015. Like, you haven't had a Tekken game since 2015, so you got to up the ante when you get to the newest iteration.
Was what he was saying. For me personally, I kind of get what you're saying. And like, one example is Tekken 5, the characters, depending on who the pairing is, they have a certain line they speak, and an action.
Right.
And it changes depending on who they were talking to. And that was something that the fans really loved, and we just weren't able to do in 7. But this time, we put a lot of effort into
y'all could have did
that.
It in 7.
And like Harada was saying, I really wanted to make the characters more unique, because they have rage or rage drive or systems across the board. So this time it was great to actually make them more unique with the heat capabilities and such. I wish we could have done more of that earlier, but this time it's something special. So.
I actually noticed that while I was playing. I think Lars and Jin.
Yeah, it's
had
a
like
trailer
a
we just looked at.
Intro. Yeah. How many do you have a lot of those kind of interactions in Tekken 8, or is it just a select few?
Yeah, we have quite a few. You might have seen some today. I think of the characters that you did see. For example, June also comes into it, so when she faces Kaguya, they have a different interaction.
Have a little dialogue.
Some kind of things you might, story-wise, think, hey, maybe these people have something, then most often they do.
Cool. Another one of the big additions that you guys are adding to Tekken 8 is this special control scheme. Can you talk a little bit about the impetus of
easy mode? Just say it, bro.
You're trying to accomplish with it?
僕らは最初から一個決めてたことがあって。
So the special style, the controller scheme itself, is something that when we were thinking about it, Tekken 7 and also other games have something similar, but usually it's geared just towards beginners and newcomers, and it's also something you have to set up in the menu, and then you're locked in through the whole match, right? So when we were thinking about this and how we wanted to change it, it was more about, well, it's kind of like a missed opportunity if it's just geared towards the beginners, right? If it were something that would benefit intermediate and advanced players, it would be much better for us. So that was what we were designing it towards, was something that everyone can enjoy in different ways. And so in that manner, it's like for newcomers, they can pick it up, turn it on instantaneously by pushing L1. And you can get a feel for the character doing the special moves, etc. with one button. You can even press, just keep pressing the same button to do combos, just like an action game, like how you would play another non-fighting action game. So it serves its purpose in that manner. But then also for more intermediate players, they already know, they have a base of Tekken knowledge and maybe a main character, but maybe they want to try out someone else. And rather than watching YouTube videos or going into the move list and spend a lot of time, they can just jump right in and turn that on and then check out.
Yeah, I'm definitely that intermediate player that goes on YouTube and spends hours in the command list trying to get different moves down with a new character. That's definitely me. So, but when we looked at the other video, the other trailer, the IGN preview that Michael Saltzman did, he mentioned that you can switch between the modern controls and the old controls on the fly. So let's just say you got a combo going, you don't want to drop it because it might be a too difficult of an input for you to put in, like some of Kazuya's electric attacks. You could just switch to the easy mode and just mash or just press one button and continue the combo. That's gonna get dangerous.
Out the character, and then once they get a feel for it within the match, still they can turn it off and go to the traditional input method if they want. And even maybe more advanced players, there might be an instance where they're playing and then in a certain moment, like at the end of a combo, they definitely don't want to make any mistakes, and they can turn that on and more effectively do a certain move. So as you can see, it's designed that because it's simultaneous and because of the choice of the moves, that it's something that should benefit all their levels of players.
One of the big things about Tekken 7 was customization of your characters. Is there going to be a similar system in Tekken 8 where you can dress up your character as much as you want with the items that you get unlocked?
まあ、とにかくそうですね。カスタマイズは今後もっと。
So yeah, very interesting question that unfortunately we can't deep dive into at the moment.
Yeah, don't tell us everything.
Is Tekken has always been known for even within fighting games being very a lot of freedom that the players have in customizing the look of their characters. Not just the skin, right? It's like you can change all these different parts in so many different ways. And that was the case for Tekken 7. So obviously we'd want to do even more for Tekken 8. Is all we can say. When the time comes, there's so much stuff we'd love to talk about on that, but for the time being, that's all we can say.
So with regards to the story of Tekken 8, I'm not going to ask you, is this going to be the end of the Mishima arc? But I am going to ask you, you've been thinking about this story for, decades at this point. Have you thought about the end of the story? Like, is that something that you're actively thinking about? Can you even see an end for the story?
それはもともとあって、もうそれで言う
So
と。
Harada was just mentioning that he actually had that kind of overall story arc and the ending plotted out in his head. But that was scheduled to finish 15 years ago. And as you're, playing the game and going along, you get different interesting ideas that you put in that kind of changes it and lengthens it, etc. But this time in particular for Tekken 8, he said he plotted out a storyline overall for 8 in particular. And then the development staff, they add their own twists and ideas to it. So it's actually quite surprising for even Harada, even though he knows the general story line, that, oh wow, this kind of happens. And so since that's the case for him, he's quite confident that most of the players won't be able to foresee what's going to happen, right? So yeah, and then even for me personally, I'm with the development staff after Harada's given the general order. And because everyone's worked on the game so much and they're all Tekken fans as well, it's like, hey, if it's this character, this is what the community expects, and they would love if we do this, or on the other hand, they're going to expect this, so let's go this way. And so it is one of the more fun parts of the development is the story and what we want to do.
So no, the story will not end. The Mishima Zaibatsu will live on. Or whatever it is by now. I think Lars took it over. It's so hard to follow the story because I never know what the fuck is going on. It's so weird. I've seen a video where this guy covers the whole lore. Shout out to him. He does it like an hour and a half, hour 45, I think. It's like a movie type shit, like a movie documentary. And he covers the whole story, and I just couldn't keep up with it. I just couldn't understand. I watched the whole thing. Didn't understand the damn thing I just watched.
With the story arcs.
I dare you. Martial law.
So I noticed that in the trailers you have veteran MMA and pro wrestling commentator or ring announcer Len Hart. Was that like an audition process getting her in there, or was that someone that you specifically reached out to be part of Tekken 8?
あれは指名ですね。ちょっと
And that's actually someone that we knew because a lot of the team is into the martial arts events, and we actually asked her directly, hey, can you do this? And just to give it that atmosphere and the feel and to boost everyone's excitement, she adds a lot to the character trailers, right? And maybe a lot of people don't know, she did Anna, voice actor too, before in the past, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
She was the voice actor for Anna before. So and she's been at our events, and she's done some ring announcements for some of our events as well. So it was a logical choice.
Can you talk a little bit about being able to use Unreal Engine 5 as it pertains to Tekken 8? What kind of advancements has it allowed for in the actual combat? And do you see the Unreal Engine 5 being like, you know, a way for fighting games to evolve in the future?
難しいとこですね。実は
It's a very interesting question. We could say that for Tekken 7, even we use UE4 first, right?
Oh, my fault. My
Even
video
then,
went out. Video went out for a few seconds.
the engine itself was more probably geared towards shooters or games with wide open stages, and so fighting games required a whole lot of different things, and so the visual aspect of it was pretty much paired with, you know, was for using UE4. But the actual like underlying mechanics that actually made the game run was usually scripting and stuff that we did on our side, and then heavily kind of customizing it to make it fit what we need. The same could be said for UE5, that it's really easy to get that high level of graphics that people expect from this current generation of, they were called next gen, but now they're the current generation of consoles, right? UE5 is really good at letting you do that quickly and to get the look and the feel of a game. But that said, we're still doing most of the scripting and moving, you know, the actual action of the game, and all of those elements are done on our programming and scripting side. So part of the challenge is to take those pretty graphics and kind of marry them with the underlying framework of the game. And so it's hard to say that fighting games will change in such a certain manner because of UE5, because it's not, it's more of a shooter-based game, or based engine, which we're actually heavily customizing. And it seems like Guilty Gear is probably doing even the same thing on theirs. Not the same as us, but same in that you're taking an engine that's built for probably another genre and kind of bending it to make it fit the one you want to use it for.
And honestly, that's how the best games are made, to be honest. When you take a engine that's like super duper powerful and capable, but it's meant for a certain type of genre, and you put it in a different genre, it makes that game so much better. That's my opinion.
Well, that is unfortunately all the time we have. Thank you guys both so much for your time and for the info.
We reacted to this
And for more Tekken 8, keep it right here on IGN.
IGN, yes sir. All right. Yeah. So you heard it there. The heat mechanics. There's gonna
One of the
be
big additions that you guys.
There's gonna be there's gonna be custom characterization, but they can't really speak about it. There is like basically an easy mode, or like a, you know, yeah, like it's let's call it a spade a spade. It's an easy mode that you can switch between on the fly, you know. So it's made for new players and it's made for intermediate players as well, and pros as well, so that you can, you know, as an easier way so you don't drop combo. So this game is all based around offense. You got to have high octane offense, just like Tekken. I feel like Tekken has always been a game of offense and being aggressive and throwing hands, but this iteration is gonna turn that up. I can't wait to see some of the pros play this game, because that's where you truly get to see that's where you truly get to see the mechanics and everything of the game be tested, because you have these high level players playing the game. So I can't wait till it comes out. But y'all let me know what y'all think. You excited for Tekken 8? Do you like the new mechanics? Do you like the customizations? Let me know. So you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. 1.